right. Veil 2020, Land of the Free, episode 10 of, I think 11, right? Isn't this the second? Oh, there's two more. Never mind. It's issue 10, though, of 12, probably. We'll see if we get through this on the next one. I kind of like ramped it up because I looked ahead and there's a lot of boring stuff between now and Night City, so I've kind of condensed it. But real quick, Asher, do you want to introduce your character, your returning character?
It's not returning because the session was canceled that I was going to be in.
Oh, okay. The new character.
Yeah. So my character is Dover, and the original idea was like Daredevil, but cyberpunk. So they could only see in like UV. So they're like a stealth person, but also like I tried to make it very American. So I imagine like some of their tech was powered by like alcohol, and they like hunted animals or something, or cyber animals,
Cyber animals
as training, and then ran into this lot.
Yeah, you were out there in Horizon Zero Dawn, and then you were like, "What? Yeah, sure, I can hitch a ride. Let me just take down this raptor."
So I got BMI Smart Sticks, drumstick style tactical reactors is what it says. So I was trying to be like the base of the group, maybe like help distract people and things.
Cool. That sounds neat. Cool. Anything else? Like, what are they dressed in and whatnot?
I got the picture. It's like a lot of cyber stuff, and then like this, what's it called? Like L-wire, electroluminescent skirt thing. Yeah.
Cool. And Dover's they them as well, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and Kurt, what did you come up with?
Oh, and then they have fists. That's the weapon.
A fist?
A powered fist. Like cyber.
Oh, okay. Like, I think everybody has that weapon. Okay, cool. Kurt?
All right. Tex was a wage slave working on like heavy machinery through a neural implant in his skull until his wife shacked up with the boss and he ran away with the tech. So he's been on the run, and together with his best bud Rodeo, a spider-like drone with a minigun installed on the bottom that he sort of can ride haphazardly, but that probably only happens when it's necessary. Tex is a pretty chill guy. He think Michael Rooker with a cowboy hat on.
Michael Rooker.
Yondu.
Michael Rooker.
From Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that funny guy, the Mary Poppins guy.
Yeah. But
more
Walking Dead Michael Rooker than.
Yeah, that guy was a jerk.
But not that temperament, just the look. Sort of middle-aged cowboy-looking dude. And everyone calls him Tex because of the cowboy hat that he found and wears to cover his cybernetic implant on his head. But he sort of dresses in just like faded denim and like a leather jacket. He's pretty chill. Unless it comes to putting the hurt on, what was the thing?
Biotechnica, or the subsidiary Narcross. Narcross is like the company that you pulled Adriana out of, and then since then it's been revealed through things that Biotechnica is the ultimate puppeteer of Norcross, as one does.
So he's always happy to put the hurt on Biotechnica.
Yeah.
So is revenge.
Yeah, so is Adriana. So Story so far. Oof, a lot has happened. So, yeah, you extracted Adriana from a tech lab out in a barren sort of New York City after like half of it is nuked, basically. So it's pretty like dark and gloomy over there these days. And you extracted her at the behest of her father, Dr. Young. So she's Adriana Young. Since then, though, we have there was a big dramatic reveal about her being a clone, and she's got like a hard drive in her brain, Johnny Mnemonic style, of all the secrets, the company secrets and stuff like that, that Dr. Young was trying to smuggle out in her brain. She has like a whole bunch of safeguards and stuff like that. So if you try to hack her, like it could kill her. There's like a dead man switch in her brain type thing. So people opted not to do that, which is good. It's safe. And she started out very like wage slavey as well, but is now kind of more punkish. There's been pluses and minuses in the column of being a cyberpunk. She saw a bunch of death and terrible things, but she's also living free. And Bina and the other characters have been trying to punkify her and like show her what the good life is like, whatever they can, and not getting shot at and killing people and stuff like that. So in a particular episode, they have made their way all across the country, beginning in like a Zeppelin like luxury airboat that was shot down and destroyed in the flaming wreckage, to the Mississippi swamps, where they took out as a side mission a corporation that was dumping stuff into the water and stuff like that. So they've been trying to do good as they made their way across. Of particular interest, the episode where Adriana, she sort of like took charge and leapt into this water because their boat was on fire, and two of the people that had ferried them were ostensibly on the boat, and she couldn't save one of them. They like drowned right in front of her. So that's why she's like, labs are not the worst. But in that gunfight, they killed a pursuing person, Cody Moon, and it was really cool. But somebody got away, BioSlim. So if this was like a recap episode of a television show, it would be like the signaling of like, hey, maybe BioSlim's going to show up again, basically. And maybe I'll get everybody to introduce their characters too, just for the new folk who don't know who they are and whatnot. Alex, do you want to introduce your character?
Sure. My character is March. He basically is a hacking thief. He has made his living breaking into and stealing information, digital stuff from corporate systems and vaults, sometimes for other corporations. He like, the aesthetic is like, his whole look is kind of jarring compared to the rest, because he basically just wears a suit and tie. He looks like a corporate to blend in. But he has a ton of cyberware in his head. It's just discreet, and he basically looks like Alec Hardison from Leverage.
Cool. Slash Hackintosh. Right. Cool.
Hackintosh.
Cool. Darren?
My character, Omen. How does one describe Omen? I think that let's start top to bottom. Omen has kind of short hair, but just long enough that it can pull a little like sprout of it back, which he does with a rubber band. Very important detail. And he's got prosthetic elf ears, and he wears like some cutoff shirts usually, and then some baggy sweatpants. That's what he looks like. He's speedy. He's got a cybernetic arm that just happens to have an artificial intelligence inside of it that may or may not be evil. Who knows? I don't. Omen doesn't play an instrument. Oh, I don't know. Owen doesn't do much except for like punch things, so he's very single track. And I'm like one of 2 remaining members of Sword Club. Wait, like I'm just responding to the chat. This is my welcome to Omen's Twitch channel. I think that's basically it for Omen. I mean, I don't know. He's a booster. He's a street fighter, and he's probably he's a little lazy and a little dumb. That's him.
Cool. I like how the evil, possibly cybernetic arm was the last thing to be mentioned. But yeah. Joshua.
Yeah, so Z is like a 15-year-old street thief. He doesn't like the veil because of something that happened in his past. And so he decided to just be a traditional thief, and he really enjoys... yes, exactly. He really enjoys sticking it to the corpse by stealing physical things, preferably really important, expensive physical things. So one of the first things he did was get a cybernetic arm installed in his left arm, and installed a bunch of thief's tools in it, so it can like change out and pull out all these little gadgets and gizmos, and then hide them back when the authorities show up. So I didn't break into anything. But yeah, he wants to look super cool, and Omen is like his hero, apparently. Watched all of his Instagram channels when he was growing up. And so he's trying to get Omen's good favor, for sure.
Cool. And Lauren.
Oh man, I don't know what to say about Vina. She hacks things by seducing wires. She's a DJ. She hacks using her decks that she has like slung around to her shoulder. And she was kind of born of the corporate music scene and has broken away from it, and is now just trying to fuck up all the co-ops she can along the way. She's super invested in making Adriana a punk, and I think erroneously feels like connected to Adriana because of their backgrounds, but I think like Adriana and her have different like feelings about people dying, I guess. She seems to care a lot more about people dying than Bina does. And Bina is also trying to help Omen out with his evil arm, and I would love to see maybe... Oh, Alex, gosh, I'm sorry for your character's name. March. Yeah, I would love to see involve March in on that as well, if possible, because I think that'd be fun and will not go wrong. And that's kind of Bina.
Cool. So last episode specifically, originally the fixer that gave them this job, Elliot Weir, who also gave them this indecipherable cipher thing in the top right corner that looks gibberish, like JNAWYE, yada yada. He told them that to like take the cipher, and if they got in trouble and got to Night City, then they would find the rest of this cipher code. But so far that has not happened. In between that, their original fixer, Elliot Weir, who gave them the job, also was killed. Last episode, they found out that the fixer who took over for Elliot was the one that betrayed Elliot and killed him. And Z and Hackintosh, March, were part of a crew that were commissioned by Sable, who You can see on the Roll20 as every NPC is in a pose like the one that you see there for whatever reason in the book. But she's part of a news conglomerate. She uncovered the story. She hired those PCs to intervene. And so Michael Hart was taken care of last night. They arrived on these the offshore colonies, which is, think of it as like a huge transpo hub that is using the like hulking behemoths of the rest of the oil rigs that were just like discarded there. A whole bunch of nomads, which are people who like form families. It's very much like an allegory for biker gang family type thing happening, except they're on cyber bikes and shit. And these people sort of rule this area. So it's like international waters travel hub. And they have come here specifically in order to charter a place to Corpus Christi where Satchel Sabo has told them to go. And they reached there just fine. And the last thing that happened, though, was March was shopping and such. Got a creepy phone call. Some rando other hacker gave them a huge 90s brick phone. And on the other end, there was like a computerized kind of voice. Yeah, that is kind of talks like Bumblebee, where it like uses a whole bunch of different samples from media in order to make a sentence. And it told them that Arasaka is coming. Arasaka is the company that hired Michael Hart, the bad fixer that was just taken care of. So it stands to reason that with Michael Hart out of the picture, they're going to be gunning for Adriana. As a side note, everywhere that you look now is pretty much permeated with like a very big reward for Adriana's placement. Basically, they want her back big time, and they're sort of getting more desperate and desperate, hiring different mercenaries and different groups and stuff like that to get her back. And each episode, the tally or the reward, the bounty is getting like higher and higher type thing. So if you check the back channels of those groups and stuff, you'll see that it's like going up more and more. And on the side, what else had happened? Biotechnica is like protecting itself and buying shares in its Narcross, because they're like protecting themselves in case Adriana is found and Narcross kind of goes under. They're kind of like manipulating things so that they won't take a loss at the market and stuff like that. I think that's pretty much it. Did I miss anything, anyone? Anyone remember other pertinent details? No? Cool. Yeah, and
Satchel here?
no, she will meet you at Corpus Christi. You're here just to kind of get a low-key ride to Corpus Christi in ostensibly an untrackable way, because this is like a huge hub that's not tracked by the corporates and stuff like this. This is all nomad driven, so they wouldn't like rat you out, that kind of thing, right? And right, yeah, ridden. So everyone needs to get rid jobs. So to get to Corpus Christi, you're going through Texas, and in this dystopic times, Texas is think of it as like a sovereign state within the US. It has its own laws and protections and stuff like that. And of course, the authority is the Texas Rangers, right? Everyone in Texas that goes through Texas has a RIN implanted in them, a chip, and it's sort of like a social security number thing. So that could be a thing that you could get implanted, maybe like forged stuff. Basically, cyberpunk people would probably know that it's mostly probably like they do today. Anyone who's dead and hasn't been like entered into the system as such, they recycle those numbers, and then people, go the Texas Rangers scan them and it shows up as that dead person instead of them, and then you're free to go, etc. So yeah, that was a lot of talking. So yeah, is everybody good? Any questions, especially for the new folk that took like a 20-minute info dump?
I have a quick question. Would Asher and I be with the group already, or are they meeting us here?
Whatever you guys think is interesting and fun, I think. You guys could have, it could be a thing where we just have assumed that you're part of the crew the entire time, or arrived with March and Z, or just meeting them now too is fine, since it's like a huge transpo hub and stuff like that. Maybe that would be as completely fine as well.
Okay, yeah, I'm okay with whatever. I don't want to like derail anything. So if it's easier to say we're with you guys the whole time, that's okay. Or if we want to do like in character intro stuff, that's cool too. But either way, I'll let the full timers decide.
Full timers, yeah, sure. Also, it is like billed as a sort of small subculture as well. So all you cyberpunks would probably know of each other, or your reputations would precede you as well. Asher, are you good?
Yeah, I was just having technical issues for a second, so I lost like visuals, and now everything's back. So, so we haven't gotten a job yet. We're about to do that.
Well, you're on the job. You're transporting Adriana
right.
to Night City, and it's a ongoing process. Yeah, but the last thing that happened was March got a creepy phone call that said Arasaka is coming, and then it just like died in their hands. So
okay,
it's ominous. It's very ominous, this job. But at least
So-
it's trying to be.
where are we now? Like, as we're going across the U.S.
You guys are at the offshore colonies, the picture on the right in roll 20, which is a huge grouping of oil rigs that have been repurposed as sort of international waters hub.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
But it's like in the south still.
Yes. Yeah, and you guys are on your goal. Your current objective as a team is to get to Corpus Christi and get transportation that's like hopefully less trackable or not trackable at all by the corporates, and to meet Satchel Sabo there.
Did they track the trucking nonsense? Like we caught the truck before?
The what?
Like they're the underground trucking things? Didn't they take one of those or something?
Yeah, they keep tracking you guys because you keep doing some stuff. In
Okay.
Memphis, and things like that. But mostly, the biggest danger now is that they had Arasaka, which is a competitor of Biotechnica, had hired Hart to try to like con you guys, right, and be like, hey, this is a fixer and you should just follow what he was doing. And he was taking you to Galveston, Texas to an ambush, essentially, is what you found out. So the crew, literally threw him overboard. And now they're headed to Corpus Christi instead. But in eliminating their agent, they are probably mad/desperate and such about that.
All right.
Yeah. And yeah, so March, how does that creepy phone call make you feel?
Not great. March is thinking he may need to get clothes that will blend in more, actually.
Okay.
Starting to, so Suit Bros? Like, Those guys who are just really into the idea of wearing suits and looking dapper.
Harvey Specter.
He's like that, but less terrible. So he's been kind of stubborn up until this point. But yeah, he's
So you're so afraid that you're gonna go buy a suit.
no, that I'm going to buy something that isn't a suit
Oh,
to
okay.
wear instead of the suit.
Gotcha.
So blends in more with this crowd.
Right, yeah.
Because like a suited guy walking around here would kind of stand out.
Yeah, you're probably getting some side eye.
Yeah.
All the nomads, the allegorical Hell's Angels people are cracking their knuckles and stuff.
Yeah. So he's he is so scared he's willing to not look on point. It's in the chat. Yeah, he's gonna like keep it together on the surface, but no, he's definitely terrified. But that's when he does some of his best work. So
yeah, well, I think when you exit the privacy booth that you had been in before, of course the hacker that you knew is gone, right? And it's all just so sad, really. Cool. So your plan is to go buy some stuff, right?
yes.
Cool. Out of character, we know that people might be able to track you because one of you has a cyber arm with an AI in it. Beta. Oh yeah, also Beta is legit being tracked.
Yeah. Legitimately.
Yeah, what was that again?
I think, oh shoot.
It was the bomb. The bomb flirted back.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, the bomb
flirted back.
Yeah, so the previous episode, Bina seduced a bomb in cyberspace, right? Obviously. And in so disarming, it implanted a trace of itself in Bina's like cyberspace code type stuff that Bina isn't aware of yet, at least. Cool. What does everybody else wanting to do at the colonies then? And March, do you tell people about this unnerving phone call?
Think he goes to get clothes first, but then he definitely tell everybody.
Cool. That's good. Okay, so I guess the scene is later on. Like everybody had been out kind of like exploring and stuff like that on the offshore colonies. There was a sort of like market scene, and we had done that kind of stuff. And then I guess later on, back at the ship, March comes up looking completely different. And so, March, what do you tell them about your unnerving phone call exactly?
So, got a pretty unnerving phone call. Arasaka's coming, apparently. So,
Who?
good to know that. Arasaka.
Who's that?
The big corp.
Oh.
You know, those ones. No?
Have they been in the news?
Have they? Out of character, have they? I mean,
yeah. Well, you guys uncovered last session that, like, you knew that the bomb was Arasaka, right? So
yeah.
And
yeah, wasn't Hart being employed by them, or he was the rat for them?
Yes.
Yeah. So convey that.
Wait, but I thought we were dealing with Biotechnica. Now it's Arasaka.
Adriana has got a high price on her head.
A lot of yeah.
I can't keep track of all this.
So
we might have to soon.
Yeah.
So did you get any more details? Like when this is going to happen? When are they coming? Why are they coming?
It was one of those weird, anonymous phone calls that, the kind of those anonymous phone calls you get.
Like one of those really creepy ones?
Oh, yeah. And it just said, Arasaka is coming, and then hung up. So, thanks for that, guy.
That's pretty terrible. Well, do we think we have time to even get these Rin jobs, or should we just go straight for the transportation?
All right, I have a queue.
What?
A question.
Oh,
Before we all met up, while the shopping montage was happening,
Mhm.
I'm still spiked out on scared, but it's been like that for 3 sessions. Can I just have done something in the background to like taken down my anxiety?
Sure. What was it that you did
Any
when you
idea?
arrived here to get rid of it?
I think that
Did you
man
go
went
fight
and,
somebody?
yeah, I think so. I think he went to some street fights because it's what he knows.
Sure. Do you want it to be flavor, or do you want to get something out of it
Well,
mechanically?
now I want to get something. Maybe I can win some run gibbers for everybody from the street fights.
Sure. Oh, sure. I like the idea of even like some of these people in a pub of some kind, like a Hell's Angel hangout type looking place, except cyberpunky.
Right.
And maybe they're even like gambling with those as chips, right?
Oh,
Like
heck yeah.
like actual whatever those things are called. I guess I should figure that out.
Yeah. Let's see if I lose my identity.
They're gambling with rins. I don't want to call them just chips. We'll just say they're gambling with rins. Cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I think they're just like. So is it like another cage fighting subculture thing? Like
There's
as
no
we harken
cage
back.
fights. It's street fighting.
Okay. Right. But is this like your subculture? Like you go find your people? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I fist bump some old bros, and they're like, "Dude, you finally got out of New York City." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm supposed to be in LA right now, man." Or Night City, sorry, whatever.
In LA. Yeah. So Z with you?
Z, did you follow me?
I think I totally did. I'd like to, or I think Z is going to try to like insert himself in the middle and essentially act as like your agent. Try to get you more money and stuff from all these people, just like hustling the other street fighters a little bit, and talking you up about how good you are and so on and so forth. And then of course I'll like film all your fights.
There's just like the cameras watching Z do that, and it's just a cut to Omen. He's like visibly sweating.
Why are you sweating?
Because he's scared and now he's nervous.
Oh, right.
Talking him up.
Right.
Bundle of anxiety.
Right. Cool. So is this is you finding a sense of like normalcy?
Yeah. For a sense of normalcy.
Like taking back some empowerment, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like a cheap shot because I want to long establish that Omen doesn't like street fighting, but it's what he knows. So just wants to, I don't know, feel like himself again. Nothing too empowering because he's gonna feel like shit afterwards, but at least he won't be scared.
Sure. Okay. So do you let Z be your agent? I guess.
The hype man agent. Hype agent.
Yeah. So Z, what is it? Are you trying to do something where you're like trying to get a little bit extra from them, or like what is your aim at your?
I think I'm probably trying to intimidate the other fighters a little bit.
Okay.
With the all the talking Omen up, and then yeah, if I can get a little extra Euro bucks on the side, or maybe it's even just a little distraction, and I can filch a few cred cards or something while I'm milling about, since that's kind of Z's thing.
Cool. Okay. So I just looked it up, and Rens are supposed to be 400 EB each, but there is percentiles involved if you want to decrease it, of course. You could roll your streetwise. So yeah, we can just make this the, let's see, chance per use of escaping detection, 400 EP. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that they have in this book about it. So cool. Oh, you want to bet on him? Sure. Okay. So are you the one that like notices the rins and be like, how about that on the table? Instead of just like regular euro dollars or something, or what?
Yes. I assume as a group we had talked about Ren, so maybe this is just background knowledge. I knew that maybe especially here, that was something people did. They just like fucked around with their like federal identities, and I was like, oh hey, wait a minute. I've heard of Rens before. It's probably like, oh, I've heard of that before. People trade those.
Right. Sure.
So I'm gonna go trade some.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So what do you want? You're basically essentially gambling for 6 rins or whatever, right? Like enough for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Cool.
Ideally. If we have to leave someone behind, so be it. Sorry.
Cool. And then I think that does seem pretty exorbitant. So Z, you're like kind of wheeling and dealing them, right? Like hyping up Oben and being like playing them off each other and stuff like that. So why don't we see if you can be persuasive? We only really need 5. Is someone dying or something?
I mean, my name is Tex, so I probably have one.
Oh yeah, but Adriana's a person, so yeah. And her name is Adriana. Okay, so yeah. Cool. So if normally at 400, because you won, what was the exorbitant amount that you won in the first session? Like 2K or something like that, right?
2,500, because we also got another pot. Wait, no. In the first session, we didn't win any money. We got a car and an extra 500.
Okay. All right. So it seems like maybe roughly equal stakes. Cool. So I think the main person there, which we'll just use one of the pictures there at the bottom left corner, the guy in the middle with the scruffy beard and the goggles and stuff like that. The red jobber implanter person. He is the one that you're like dealing with, and he's like got a beer in his right hand. He looks all like scruffy and not impressed at all and stuff like that. And he's probably like out there in New York. That scene's completely different from here. From here, we're hardcore. Look around. All you see is nomads. Right. So what do you say? How do you hype up Omen and try to get all of the rins?
Right. Do you not know who this is? This is Omen, the Decimator. He of chromed fists, even though he doesn't have chromed fists. They're just that good. He's been all over the land. He's been traveling. New York City was where he came from, but that was just the beginning. He's been all over the place, punching left and right, slicing left and right. Although, of course, we won't use swords in this engagement because that's just a little too much. But his fists will do wonders, do magic, do wizardry. And I think you're going to get a little off the top from this show, so you can pass a little back our way, too.
Yeah, he's the reincarnated David Carradine, practically, apparently. Cool. Okay, so let's take that to a roll. I think stakes are if on a mixed success, he's going to want something like extra from Omen, like some, I don't know what level of violence or whatever is normally applicable in these fights, Omen, but whatever the like extra addition.
The knockout.
Okay, then it's to the death instead.
Oh my god.
Escalation.
Wild. I better be able to use my sword then.
Okay. Or yeah, like if you get your way, then you get all the rids and you've convinced him. But failure is to the death, and mixed result, I think, is just something that like hypes up the crowd a little bit more, like maybe just fighting with weapons or something like that, but not to the death. Or like fighting on two cars that are aflame or something. Something like that. So how are you feeling about this, D?
I'm feeling... Oh, sorry. I'm ready.
So we'll do a roll later for Omen's fight, right? This is
Yeah,
just me right
this
now.
is this is just convincing this fella.
Okay. I think either joyful or powerful.
Cool. And his name's Brick.
Brick, yes.
Yeah.
I think joyful makes the most sense.
And he probably asks people why they call him Brick all the time. Like the Joker. Want to know why I smile or whatever it is that the Joker always asks people. It's like that, but his name for Brick.
Okay. I have yeah. I'll ask him while we're talking. Why do they call you Brick?
Oh wow, that's a good roll. I guess he'll tell you. 13, so you get an extra benefit. How come every time Omen enters this sort of thing, there's an extra benefit? Okay, so yeah, he tells you though. I guess he looks impressed as you peacock for for Omen here, and I think part of it is because he doesn't want to look stupid, right? He's like, "Oh yeah, Omen. I've heard of Omen," because you're like, "You've heard of Omen, obviously, right?" And he's like, "Yes, of course. Everyone who's heard of people has heard of Omen." But why his name is Brick is because his sort of like gimmick when he was a fighter was at the beginning of the round he'd like psych people out by smashing a brick across his forehead, and it would scare the shit out of him. And then he would win very easily in his mind. So you get all the rins. What is the extra benefit that you would like out of this roll? Because on a 12 plus, you get an additional benefit.
Could we maybe make like a good impression on either Brick or someone else in the bar to maybe have a lead on the transport that we need to get out of here?
Sure. Yeah, I like that. Sure.
Make friends.
Sure. So you're, as the fight is happening, you're sort of like networking and stuff as well. Cool. Well, we'll see if Omen can win. Cool.
So we have the rins if he's successful.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're all on the table now. Whereas before it would have been, it would be difficult to get that all on the table. It would have gone to death or fight by flaming car, as one does. So cool. I'd like to know from everybody, what do we think this place is like? So far, I'm picturing the basement in Fight Club. So let's paint the scene a little bit.
Well, firstly, it's on a street.
Okay, that changes things in my head a little bit. It's the beginning of Fight Club when they fight on the street.
I'm being raw. Put my foot down.
Yeah. Could it be a street or like an overpass,
Oh, yeah, it's got to be overpass, yeah. So now it's like the scene where Neo's in the car. Just kidding. Okay. Cool. So it's on a straight under a bridge. It's very nefarious. What else is happening here? How do we know that this is a dystopic, futuristic fight taking place on an offshore colonies full of nomads that are essentially bikers? What else is happening?
So there's got to be these like drainage gates, right, where everything flows into the ocean, so you can like hear the ocean down below.
Mm-hmm. And the losers. That's
Yeah,
where
maybe
they get
it
flushed.
sets the perimeter, like you can't go past the gates.
Oh yeah,
Drainage.
cool. And it makes it more like scary for the people fighting, right? They could get close to the edge. Cool. What else do people think, Lauren? Do you got an idea? What's up in this street fight?
I think they like hack the street lights so that they act like strobe lights, so you got all
Oh,
the
gosh.
cool shots. Right?
Nice. We get like a few shots of some of the planes trying to come in, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Switch to autopilot. The visuals are bad on this one. What else?
I think that like World Star Hip Hop, there are the entire event is broadcasted by people's own phones. So there's like hundreds of different streams you can watch. There's not like an official channel or anything. And they probably have like TV set up that like jumps between all these different streams of the fight. So like people in far off crowds can see what's going on. Because there's no cage.
Yeah, it's
Just
gotta
a
be.
circle of people or something.
And like Alex says, there's got to be some bisexual lighting happening here. So
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh, it's a cyberpunk film." Gotcha. Cool. Lauren, anything?
All I could think about is like there's that one stray cat that's more cybernetics than it is like real cat now, and it's probably got like a lot of scars and it's real mean and kind of like just hangs out by a garbage bin nearby.
Does it
It's
have
like
a
the
name?
mascot, Sparky.
Sparky. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's not a fight until Sparky's around. Cool. So I think what we see then is all of that stuff. And then your opponent starts walking up, and it's one of those shots, just like in Drive, actually, where it's like only showing the lower portion of the person's body, but the camera's following them. And it shows their knuckles, and one of them has like gold plating with one of those what's it called? Those things that people put on their hands, the brass knuckles. That's what it's called. Except that it's grooved in such a way that it's like individual rings that like conglomerate into this brass knuckles. And one hand says like lovers, the other one says kiss. And of course, since it's like not enough letters for kiss, it just does multiple S's. And they're wearing like leather jacket. It's got, oh geez, what's like a good nomad bicycle gang? Something about groove. Maybe actually I think on the back it says like the tectonics, and the words keep shifting around, right? Maybe they're geography nomads, I guess. And yeah, so you see the back with the shifting stuff. You see the cameras play off their hands and the light and stuff like that. As it pans up, it's like a skinny white kid that looks kind of like Eminem-ish in my head. And they've got like gold teeth though, and they smile. And then we'll cut to somebody else doing something less dramatic. So what else is people up to as Owen is about to fight?
I think I have Rodeo like wiggle its way up in and get me a good spot, and then I just like lounge back sitting, so like the spider butt part like goes up so I can sit in it like a lounge chair. And then it like just anytime someone comes by, like the leg just kicks them out of the way. Goes back down.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you don't have business on the rigs, you're just here for the fight? Because you could be watching and have like a other thing that you want to do on the rigs if you want.
Mm.
Like if you have shopping to do, if you want to be pursuing the transportation aspects with Z at the club or something, or elsewhere. Yeah, whatever you think. If you have subculture things like Omen where they need to go fight all the time.
I think I put money on the fight.
Yeah.
So maybe I bet for like 4 passage.
Oh.
Like try to get us a ride somewhere.
Okay. Let's see. Well, in terms of transportation, Joshua, what is like the transportation that you guys are wanting to get to Corpus Christi? There's literally everything that you can get out of here. There's the luxury air zeppelins that you guys have had a bad experience with previously. Yeah, opens like fuck that. There's just like regular boats. There's luxury boats. There's you can hitch a ride as like a convoy on a caravan type thing because trucks go through all the time and they're always looking for hired hands, that kind of stuff. Just like a line on some vehicles even to get for yourselves, whatever you think.
Yeah, it sounds like we've had bad experiences with boats and with zeppelins, so I'm gonna say no to both of those and maybe do something via land. Whether it's all like we all rent motorcycles or get some like giant road trip van that's got some nice armor plating or something like that. Any of that kind of stuff sounds good.
Okay. And then Kurt, are you trying to bet enough money to purchase all of these things for everybody then?
I don't know if I have enough money to do that. I was going to try to get us a ride on something.
Yeah.
Because I've got like $500 like dollary dues.
Right.
So I don't know that that's going to get us anything other than like in the back of someone's truck. So
well, if you won the fight and you bet on it,
I mean,
it
yeah,
could be good odds.
I could bet my Rin.
Like
probably worth
this is
some money.
just for Omen to like not get scared anymore. Not like the fate of the party. Like everyone's putting money up and shit like that. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, I think I probably go up to Omen and ask if he's gonna win. Like I probably go check. Like, so you gonna win this one?
Tex, don't you know that's bad luck? Like you can't even say break a leg or something. It's totally different. It's not that. You can't ask me that, man. I think Omen's doing like little jumps to like get warmed up or whatever, like fighters do.
Yeah, I get it, buddy. But here's the thing: like we got some stuff riding on it. So if you's gonna win, I'm gonna put some money on it.
Well, I mean, I want to win, but I can't guarantee anything.
But like, do you really want it?
I love this Texan like fucking hype. This is good. Yeah, I really want it. Owen, I think, stopped and he's like just like looking at you. Like,
yeah. Then if you really want it, you can take it. You just gotta grab it. It's right there.
That's you
just take it.
Tex.
You got it. I'm gonna bet the farm on it. You got it. I'm gonna go bet I'll be back. I'll be over there on rodeo.
I got it, Tex. I got it. I'll do it. Thank you.
He's got it. So cool. I'll bet my own Rin on it.
Oh shit. Okay. Sounds good. So you're betting the $500 and the Rin that is coming to you if he should win?
The Rin that's in my body.
Oh shit.
Because I'm like a Texan.
Right. Whew. Okay. Yeah, which is probably how some of these Rins were acquired in the first place. Some of them are probably like bloody and stuff still. Being ripped out of the unripped job. Cool. Does anybody else want to be in this scene or elsewhere?
I think I'm just playing a beat as they're fighting. Got those
Hey.
808s going.
We have like the pre-street fight dance fight.
Right. So there's a dance off before the street fight.
Then the makeout session.
Nice. Yeah. When after the dance off, it's quite dark and everyone gets partners, and then the street fight happens. It's an intricate ritual in these.
A long-standing tradition amongst the street fighting community.
Yeah, they are the colonies, right? It's got to be a little weird. Cool. What about March?
Well, if that's the long-standing tradition in the street fighting community, I think March is probably not there. Not sure. Had not considered what he would be doing otherwise, though.
Are we setting this? I was thinking this was a flashback to while you were on your shopping adventure.
Oh, I mean, that might work. That would work.
Sure. So
Because
while
March
you're
doesn't
doing
move around all that.
cool, yeah. So while this is happening, we're doing interspersing cuts between creepy call and street fighting action. Cool. I like that. Okay, well let's just let that sit for a little bit. We'll come back at 15. We'll take a little break and then we'll see if Omen breaks everybody's dreams.
But yeah, let's see if we end the game 2 sessions early, as we
Yeah.
all lose our identities.
Woohoo! Cool. See you in a bit.
Sorry I was late, Fraser. I was distracted. You're muted.
I didn't even notice.
Wow. It's like you don't even care.
Yeah. It's like, we're doing it.
His soul has troubles with roll 20. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, exactly. It did quite better. We're
Yeah.
like, hey.
We'll just all write things down and email them to each other.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work great. That's how you play a real cyberpunk game.
You roll the dice, you take a picture of your dice result, and you email it to the DM.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I like that. The someone gets punched and then we cut to Marsh trying on a shirt. Yeah, this one's pretty good. I like the fabric on this one. Cool. So at the fight, is anybody else betting things, PS? Or is it just Tex who believes strongly in Omen and you guys aren't real friends?
Should I bet on the opposite party just in case?
That'd be funny.
I don't know who it is, but that way we win either way.
Yeah, what is his name?
The guy I'm fighting against?
Yeah.
Is it? Why shouldn't it not be Eminem?
Yeah, maybe it's just like M and M.
Yeah. M, ampersand, M.
Yeah. And he's one of those people who calls his fists thunder and lightning. One of those people. Oh, slash Lord's character beat it doesn't care about her sword, really.
I do. I just believe in Soul Club that much that Owen will definitely win.
Right. Okay, so far there's another rid and a sword and $500 from Tex, right? Yeah, is that it?
Does he need to put anything down, or is this just like a straight off the top kind of deal if Omen wins?
Yeah, what did they want from Omen? That's true.
Wait a minute, I'm fighting. If I lose, I get knocked out.
Yeah, that's true.
They
Maybe
take my
I'll...
consciousness.
Generally, in street fights like this, you get paid even if you lose a little bit.
Yeah, I'll give you like $20.
Okay. You can mail it to me. I'll give you my address.
Cool. Yeah. See, like, Texas has been hard and my birth rate. See, look at that. Yeah, sure. I guess the details beyond will have been handled by your manager. Cool. Okay, so we cut back to the street fight. Is there anything that marks where you guys had to like stay on the street, like some kind of violet glowing substance or something like that? Spray
Yeah.
paint.
Yes, I think it's exactly that. That's exactly what I was thinking. I think some little hooligans ran around in like a probably not a very good circle, spraying this spray paint that glows neon because it's, you know, cyberpunk future.
Right. Yeah. Where if this was regular, then it would be like the Fast and Furious street.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Okay, so let's see how well this fight goes.
Okay, I want to use my Abusa class slot to get an advantage. I think that's
You
the thing.
would.
This is like the first time I've ever used the class slot.
I know. Cool. Okay, so you've got advantage.
Yeah. I'm just gonna type in my roll because I don't know what's on the sheet. 3d6. Drop lowest +2 because I'm rolling this, or +1 because it's spiked, right?
If you're rolling a spike thing, it should be disadvantage. But then if you're using advantage, then I guess you're just rolling.
normal.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I thought it was just a normal roll.
Why
Well,
isn't this how you're getting rid of the steam?
Yeah.
Like the spike?
Yeah, that
Scared?
makes sense.
Yeah. You could
Okay.
have abstracted it, but you did not. Oh, that's not. That's just. A
Oh, I
two.
think. Oh, fuck. Yeah. I messed up my. I forgot to edit it.
Oh no!
Ugh,
Cool.
that didn't go well. Sorry, you guys.
Well, it can be the opening salvo, we'll say.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna put. I'll put the best of 2d4 for damage on for M&M's. I think you get hit by Kiss this time. And you take 3. Both of them are 3 anyway. What's your health at now? How many harm boxes do you have?
I think I have 6, so I'm at 3.
Okay. So half. So what is it that he does that drops you by half? What does it look like? How do you get hurt?
He's probably like surprisingly nimble and evasive. And then I think probably he figured out that I have my little cyberpunk arm. And he was like adept enough to like dodge it and then like hit me on my left side because I think my right side has the arm. So he just like got around me and like really, really shook me and got in a few good hits or something.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So let's see. Do you want to do a straight exchange or do you want to up the stakes into like a straight knockdown or what for this next roll?
I mean, I guess let's up the stakes because if it's a normal exchange, I could get knocked out anyway.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Cool. Okay, so you want to kind of do like the one punch action thing on him?
Yeah.
Like a knockout or something worse? What do you want on the table?
Oh,
And does it
no.
look like you shed your fear in that moment, even though it didn't work, right? So do you shed it because you get hit and then Omen's mad? Like, is that what's replaces it?
You know what? I think it is. Yeah, I think it's just like that literal wake up call where he gets kind of dazed and then he's mad because he's street fighting again and now he's losing. He doesn't like any of this.
Yeah. Cool. So it kind of wakes up Omen.
Yeah. I bet he like spits out a tooth even.
Yeah. And is it when you spit it out, are you doing that thing where you're kind of like smiling? Like you're
No, I'm mad.
Okay. Yeah, well, that could happen after the smile, right?
I think he's grimacing. I think he spits it out and wipes his mouth, the blood, and he's like, fuck. And then he's mad.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So knockout, I'll put the same thing. His weapon doesn't change, so it'll be the best of 2d4
Okay.
on the table. Would you like to use another class slot?
I don't know if I have one that's like applicable.
Yeah?
Because...
Isn't it all melee damage things?
Yeah, but if we're going for knockout, I don't need to do more harm.
Oh, well, it could always be like up to and including how much you want, right? Isn't there one like that actually?
Yeah, there's one
Dealing.
if I meet or exceed it, I can knock them out instead of... We can knock them out or subdue them instead of, I guess, killing them. And can I roll with advantage again?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, let me do that. I thought there was like I crossed it off for this session or whatever.
No, you can use it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. Good advantage.
Cool.
Roll 3d6. I'm not gonna get too fancy with it because I don't know what I'm doing really.
I also emailed that.
Wait, I know what I did wrong.
Simply asked him to add advantage on the roll 20 sheets. So we'll see what happens with him.
I did it.
11. That's pretty good. Not 12 for extra effect, though. I guess Owen's losing his touch.
Wow.
Cool. So what does it look like to knock him out? What is the rest of the scene? How does Rocky come back out of the hitch?
I think that I want to bring my good arm friend into this, and I think that maybe after Omen gets rattled, I think there's like a second where the like tattoos. Oh yeah, the like I always forget about those. The like color changing, pattern changing skin that he has is like synced up with his arm, and I think there's like you see this visually on the arm. That's how you know that the AI is doing its magic. And I think it just like integrates somehow with the wired reflexes the Omen's got. So he's like super fast and super precise. Somehow this like processing power from this AI in his arm helps him out. So I think it's maybe just like a blur. I think maybe it's like very not dramatic actually. It's anticlimactic. As just this hyper accurate blur, and then it's like it's an anime ninja moment, right? So there's like a flash, a blur, and then some dust, and then Omen standing behind in and M, and then his arm is like venting because the AI was working, and then N and M just like falls to his knees and on his face.
Splat. And we see Kiss roll away, right? Cool. And I think it goes like dead quiet. And I think the spectators are clapping and stuff like that. But as Z and Tex and stuff are looking around, actually, let me roll for it so it's not unfair. I'm just going to cast a Die of Fate here. Yeah, that doesn't tell me what. It's a mediocre thing. I'm just going to. Son of a nutcracker.
Fate has decided.
There we go. Okay, so it's not on your side. So yeah, I think the audience and everything is excited, but the person who you talked with, Brick, is like not there. You can look over and you see him like signaling the boys, right? Being like, maybe we'll just go look them up instead, right? That kind of thing. But they have to like, I think you put all of the betting stuff in some sort of whatchamacallit, transactional cage thing. Like when you go to the bet at the races, you have to like get it approved before the thing, and then the arbitrator holds all this stuff. So you'll get your payouts for sure. But I think Z for sure and Tex notice that like these guys are like straight up pissed. They're probably members of the same crew that Ed was. And so yeah, trouble is a brewing. And then we cut back to like I don't know, Paint It Black or something, playing as March tries on pants or something, right? Actually, how about we say that you have walked out of your store or whatever, and you hear all the commotion and stuff like that down the way from this place that is called The Turn, right? Because it's gambling. I know stuff.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. So I think you like round the corner to this street, which is bordering the turn. And I think you see just in time to see one of the like three of the guys with the shifting leather stuff on their backs kind of flanking Omen as they're like sort of collecting himself on the pavement, right, with some blood coming down from his lip and stuff like that. I'm very tired. Please stop. Yeah. Also, Darren, remind me what your arm wanted on the roof. Remember when I made it like try to take over that remote thing? Do you remember the reason for that exactly? Like the specific thing that it was trying to collect?
Oh, I don't think it was trying to collect anything. I think my thoughts were that it was just a rudimentary AI, really, because I punched a gate control.
Yeah.
So I think that it just wanted to be hooked in a system. You know what I mean? So like instead of opening gates or whatever, it wanted to turn off the alarm, and then if it were just in the city operations, it would just operate the city.
Cool. Okay. I have more on that later. For now, I'm going to pull the table and see. Let's assume that Dover, March, Tex, and Bina are aware of the people, the angry biker people that are sort of like each in turn nodding at their compatriots to sort of like get together because they're angry and they want to have like a little beatdown that they lost this bet, which would be very expensive actually because it's 5 RINs times 400 EB, and then also you also place 500, right? And we'll say it was like 3-1 or something, so you get like 1,500, right? And so yeah, they were out a lot of money. They didn't believe, I think. I think they're all mad at Brick as well for being an idiot. But I mean, the guy smashes bricks against his forehead. They couldn't expect that much from the guy, right? So, Dover, you're there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see these people come milling together and like making the startings of what will be like a mob attack type thing with them. What is it that you do when you see them kind of congregating?
I'm gonna try to break it up. Like I think I'm fairly normal here, so I just don't want the whole thing to get shut down.
Okay, so how would you break it up?
Like get between them and this group.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna get in between Omen and the group?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to show that like that you have like backup type thing.
Mhm.
It's not like a few people against one.
Right.
Cool. Okay. Um That's a bit. Okay. What about Z? What is Z doing?
So Z is gonna, he's just gonna keep clapping and walk over to Omen and like kind of help him up a little bit, maybe like wipe his brow, that kind of thing. You did a great job, man. So proud of you. That last punch was fantastic. I got it all on tape. Um, um, we got your back here. You did your part. Why don't you just here's your sword in case you need it, and we're just gonna front for you on this one.
In case you need it.
I think Tex walks up and says, "Boy, you did a good job there, but I think you done pissed off a few of the wrong people. Why don't you hop here on Rodeo and he'll take you back. We're just gonna have a little chat with these fellas."
Yeah, I think Owen is quite beat up. So you notice that he leans on like Tex and Z probably a little bit more than he would normally, and like gets a little bit more help up onto Rodeo, and then maybe he's mumbling a little bit, like he's a little knocked out. But
okay. Well, I mean, if it looks like Omen is gonna get away, then they're gonna like turn and be like, double or nothing, right? Like, wussy, don't run away. But they say much worse words than that.
Fight's over. I'm done.
You're not done until we say you're done. You're on our streets here. You people aren't even from here.
But
Brick's from here. He made a deal.
Brick's an idiot. Brick's like, hey, and then he kind of does like, that's fair.
Listen, fellas, it ain't our fault you made a bad choice. The boy didn't look like he was going to take it. You did the best you could. You pay the money, we go away. I don't see a problem here. Is there a problem here? And Rodeo like rises up a little bit and the minigun starts to spin.
Okay.
Are we gonna have like an issue?
Cool. Let me check in with Bina. Bina, you're there too. What did you want to do?
Does Omen need? I mean, I'm not a doctor by any means, but does Omen need any kind of like help tending to his cybernetics or otherwise? I mean, are these street fighters also punks, or are they just like street rats?
They're they're nomads. They're probably like not freelancers, right? They're more nomads, so they're like their whole thing is about honor, protecting their family, like very Sons of Anarchy type stuff, right?
Yeah. Then so like if Owen needs help, like Bina's fully there for Owen. If not, she's probably gonna get in on like the let's talk this down kind of like on that train and back up there. So Owen, do you need help, Owen, or are you okay?
I could probably use help. At the very least, like my arm is like venting this smoke or steam or something. Whatever it's venting, something.
Could be both.
Venting. It's coming out of me. So I mean, if you want to hook up with that,
yeah, we would attend to that. Yeah. That could explode at any minute.
Okay. I'll try swapping the windows manually if Hangouts is not doing it for people, which is a weird problem. Okay. Cool. So it sounds like you might be helping Dover and Tex sort of cow them, right? Or you're mainly concerned with trying to get hitboxes back for Omen? Or what's the mechanical?
Yeah, I was gonna try and get some hitboxes back for Omen.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, you might not necessarily know how to do that, but you're also connected to the internet, right? You could just follow directions. Yeah. just wiki like
JFGI.
Here for someone who got punched in the face real good.
Yeah, like don't worry, I've got the wiki how open like on my monitor whilst I'm trying to perform first aid. No one's like, "Are you sure about this?" Like, yeah, it's fine. I got it. Don't worry. I've listened to this like a million times before.
Okay, awesome. So I think the scene is then, I think in the camera shot, we'd see March rounding the corner, seeing this stuff unfold. We would see Omen sort of like getting up on on the robot that's rearing up with a minigun. And Dover and Tex are kind of putting themselves in between to engage with them and cow them, right? Whereas Bina is with Omen and trying to, help out and heal Omen. So let's do the cow roll first. There's two ways we could handle it. We could have one person as the primary roller and the other person is helping and thus giving advantage to the first person's roll. Or we could have two separate roles to influence different situations, like the different people in the gang, perhaps even. Sounds like Tex is more talky and Dover is more physical interspersy, right?
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm mostly making sure that they don't just walk away, I guess.
Yeah. So is Dover like going behind them to try to freak them out more? So it's like Tex in the front and Dover in the back being like, we'll fuck you up too, right? That kind of thing.
Could be. That seems more threatening. I don't know.
Yeah. So you'd rather just be beside Tex and being like,
yeah,
it's many against.
Because we got what we needed already, right?
Yeah, you definitely got the payout. It was probably like a digital thing that got like beamed to you or whatever, right? they couldn't stop from their losses, but I think they definitely are doing the thing in the pool hall where if you get hustled, they're like, around here, you give a person a chance to get their money back type thing, right?
Yes, it's more about protecting Oban.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so do you think you're the person rolling and Tex is backing you up with the words, or vice versa? What do we think?
I can roll. That's cool.
Okay, Tex, you're cool with that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm just telling them to back down.
Dover, how are you feeling right now?
That's a good question. Probably
They mad?
pretty powerful or mad, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And this isn't, so to be clear, in the scene, you're not being aggressive. You're just is it tonally calm, or are you
Yeah, I'm
using
looking at the
aggressive
field meal now.
language?
So I think it's more like proud. Like I want to keep this place good and not have, not have actual fights.
Gotcha.
Right?
This is just peasant fighting.
Professional street fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. I like that. The window.
That's 11. 13.
13. Whoa, that's a lot of dice. What? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Advantage, right?
Yeah, gotcha. I was like, whoa. Okay, yeah, so that works very well. You get an additional bonus as well for getting a 12 plus. So the cowing is working on these people. So, yeah. What is it that you actually say to them, though?
Just like, get out of here with your baseless demands,
Okay. Yeah. And then Tex steps up and says what they do, and it seems like more and more people are coming out of the woodwork, right? Like March is rounding the corner. If nothing else, that's a witness to them being like this. And Bina steps up too, and I think they're eventually like, yeah, maybe this is a bad idea. Cool. I think one of the guys, like the aggressive guy who has, of course, the handlebar mustache, right? Like a big handlebar mustache. He is still like being like pretty peacocky and aggressive and stuff. And then one of the back guys like grabs him. And he's like, "Come on, Wheeler, let's just go. It ain't worth it." And he kind of like nods to the people coming out of the woodwork and stuff. And he's like, he just like kicks the ground and then gets really mad and then just like punches Brick in the face and then they go. Cool. Bina, do you want to see what you can do about this healing?
Yeah, totally. I mean, first of all, like, what are your symptoms? Like, what do you need fixing?
Yeah, that's what
I'll Google one.
That's what the wiki doctor asks.
Yeah.
What you feeling?
I'm feeling bleeding. Yeah. Yeah, where do we do this, Owen? Like, how far can you get before you can no longer go any further?
I mean, I think I can go. I think I'm just like very exhausted and like physically in pain, but not like broken, if that makes sense, or not like injured badly, right? I think that Omen would direct you towards his arm anyway, because he'd be like, "This is nothing." I mean, I've been in a street fight before, but he's like, "But my arm is still smoking."
Ooh.
My arm is still smoking.
I think like Bina probably touches it and it's like real hot to touch, right? Like it's overclocked or whatever. It's like, ooh, this is nasty. You want me to take a look at it? We could get March to help, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's okay if we need to like go somewhere more stable than a spider's back.
Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, like I'm pretty good at what I do, but yeah, you're right. This is not ideal.
Sounds good. I think it's not painful. I think I'll survive.
Okay, so are you doing the roll then, Bina?
Sure.
Like Owen is talking you out of the role, man.
Oh, I thought. Well, maybe we just cut to like wherever, the boat or hotel room or.
And you're being tended to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, as the additional bonus, I was gonna say, I think as you people are leaving and stuff, you round the corner, and we get the somewhat comical shot of all the biker gangs. I think all their cyber cycles are lined up in a row right there. Possibly, if you need a ride, you could jack them, perhaps. Up to you.
What do you think, Owen? You see what I'm seeing?
They're assholes.
You know I love riding down the highway feeling my hair blowing in the wind, but I'm in no shape to jack a cycle.
I was thinking more like March, right? Who's the March and Z are the thieves.
March cannot does not know how to ride a motorcycle.
It's okay.
I said that in the chat earlier, actually. So I'm sticking.
Okay.
It's called WikiHow. It's totally great. You can learn anything.
I pull it up on my Google Glass equivalent.
Well, maybe one of them has the little side thing, right? That's where Brick sits.
Oh, please, yes, I really want to be in a
But
sidecar.
I mean, they're there, but you would have to jack them, and you're good at stealing the things, right?
Oh, yeah, I could.
Yeah,
I could do the whole hacking thing to make them ours.
yeah. And Z knows how to jack physical objects, so I think each of you could jack things in different ways.
Yeah, I'll page you. I'll page you where like these bikes are. So I'm like, gotta go to Owen. Like, here are the bikes. Looking pretty prime for transport out of here.
Okay, cool. And then we cut to you healing up Omen wherever you might be in this place. Which I guess is back at the raft, unless you like rented a place or something like that.
We can do the raft. There's very big rules.
Cool. So is this like Monster Hardy? Is there like tender subtext to heal a lot or what?
I don't know. Can you do much tender subtext with WikiHow? Like,
Yeah.
it's a very blunt operation. But no, I mean, like, how's your arm treating you?
It feels tight and it feels irritated and like emotionally irritated, not physically irritated.
I see.
And it feels like seems like it's bored and it was just lashing out.
Oh, sounds like you got a real interesting problem. Can I take a look at it? Like maybe I can like talk to it. Maybe I can like calm it down a bit. Or do you want it to stay angry? What do you want?
No, please talk to it. It's reminding me of myself as a teenager, and I am well past that in my life.
Yeah, let's do it. Like give me your arm. I'll pull out whatever gadgets I guess I'll jack into your arm and then like start like making very soothing motions on my dick to like try and get all like the tension out of your arm so it's not so angry.
Yeah, this needs some DJ Tiesto.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fully seducing.
That's soothing.
Cool. Okay, so
cyber physiotherapy.
So how do you feel repairing this for your arm?
I'm feeling pretty like I think I'm feeling pretty powerful. I feel pretty appreciated. I could do things for this team. Like I'm just not some angry punk who's at to cause trouble. I can like help people. Help my friends out.
Cool. Okay. So stakes wise, we'll just say like a D4 of healing, I guess, is on the table. And Phalles wise, you're interfacing with an arm of unknown origins. So yeah. I'll just go from there.
That's good.
Unknown army arm. 10. That's pretty good. Dang it. Okay.
Damn it.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, tell me what happens and roll a d4, and that'll be how much healings you do.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I feel like it's luckily she doesn't need to have like the WikiHow open, but like perhaps it is like the Audacity track with like a lot of like noise and spikes and stuff going on and like her vision. So I guess like as she's like doing these very soothing motions on this stick, it's like the spikes and like the Audacity track to like get to very like lower, calmer frequencies. Like the arm like calms down. And like the vents and stuff like chill out, and it like Owen's arm cools down as well.
Yeah, maybe there was like pulsing colors, right? Like
Ooh,
kind of
yeah.
rapidly, and it slows down a little bit, and it goes maybe from like an angry fuchsia to a calmer teal or aquamarine.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. I give it a little pat because it's a nice arm.
I think maybe in your Audacity or whatever, it opens up like a little terminal window, right? And it like, you know how you can see the username blinking there and stuff like that in hacker movies? I don't know if it's real or not. But it says interface 0, and then it like slowly the words come out, like the letters, right, to form the words. And it says, I'm feeling much better now. And then we cut back to
That's
people
so sweet.
maybe stealing a bike. Cool. So what's the plan, gang? The Omen's not there. Bina's not there. They can't tell you what to do. You can steal some bikes or what?
Did they say specifically to steal the bikes?
I don't think they said anything. They just marked the place where they saw them, right?
I think you can pick up what they're putting down.
Yeah.
Yeah, March will just sort of casually go over and like put a hand on one, looking all cool while rewiring the systems, I guess. To that's a roll, I assume, but
Yeah, you would need to hack it.
Doing the hack thing, yeah.
I think I even saw the bike that I'm thinking of in the Chrome compilation, I think. Something really funny, like Freedom Bike or some shit. And it looks like a Harley, right? It's like Harley Freedom or something like that.
How does it work if like it falls within the scope of one of my jams?
Oh, then you don't get disadvantaged while doing
okay.
it. Yeah. So you want to be doing the thing that you are good at, which is
I have infiltration and I took misdirection on last level up.
Cool. Okay. Dang. Yeah, I can't find this stupid bike. I'll find it later, and then I'll show you pictures after the session's done and be like, these are the bikes that you have, if it works. We'll see. So I think real dangers here is that possibly they've not retrofitted, I guess, but modified these bikes for some like aftermarket protections or something like that, because they're nomads in the colonies. That seems plausible. So if you fail, you might set it off. Damn it. I mean, good job. I'm a fan of you guys. Cool. So what is it? What does the viewer see like on screen? How do we know that you've successfully done this? What does it look like?
I mean, like, I'm imagining instead of like a physical key, there's like a screen and just like a little keyhole symbol, and it's red, and then it turns green and says welcome back, and the name of whoever owned the bike. on the screen,
I'm
not
gonna be like Wheeler.
words.
Welcome
Yeah.
back,
So,
Wheeler. Your mustache is the best mustache.
and then he turns to Z and says, so, I don't actually know how to ride these, but yeah, I got this one. It's fine.
Great job, man. Maybe you can ping the others. I don't think we're going to be able to transport all these, just the two of us. But I think we're ready to get out of here. As soon as Omen's healed up, he kind of like looks wistfully off, because he's not with Omen. And I think with the two of us, we can probably get the rest of these bikes up and running. Easy peasy.
Sure. And this is before like the scene we did at the beginning where he's like, "Hey, also Arasaka is after us." Right. So I think he's like, but also there is something like we may not want to leave just yet, or maybe we want to leave immediately. I feel like we should really reconvene with the group, see what the situation is.
That's probably a really good idea. I don't like the sound of Arasaka coming anywhere near us.
I haven't said anything about that. How do you know Arasaka's coming? Okay. No, I'm waiting to tell the groups.
Okay. But yeah, I think that we need everyone to come back to the bikes because we can't take all 6 bikes to them very quickly.
Yeah, I'll go to work. Unless can you take care of the other bikes and I'll ping them, or you ping them and I'll take care of the other bikes?
You're probably better at pinging Bina than I am. I don't know
Alright.
how well that works. I don't have one of those giant brick cell phones, so you do your thing. I'll mess around with these.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, you'll definitely need a separate roll for each one because they're very expensive. So it's a risk each time you do one for sure.
Okay.
It's not just like, and now we have 5 bikes.
So I guess Z will take the next risk.
Cool. And how does you're a more like physical thief, right?
Yeah, so I imagine I'm like prying open the side, like ripping off some of the chrome plating or whatever to get to the inner wiring around the ignition system, and then just going at it with a bunch of different, like my hand just pops out and starts flipping different tools between the fingers, and just fiddling around with that. Maybe even like kind of a multi-prong like fork piece of metal comes out, and I'll shred some wires and then use the fork to like arc electricity through all of them and do some cool hot wiring stuff.
Hardwired.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll just use a screwdriver. That's more iconic.
Not as elegant, but nice.
Even in the future, when they're analog, those are the things they don't think of, right? So how are you feeling about this? Apparently you're alone now too.
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna roll sad because Omen's gone and I'm alone. And I've got 5 bikes left.
Well, I like that there's one bike that March gets, and you're like, just Google how to ride it. He's like, okay, peace. And now you're alone. Cool. Well, not necessarily. Other people were in that. Geez, you guys are good at this. Okay. Cool. So is this another Thunder God? Maybe this is... And these are really expensive, but I want to give you guys the cool stuff anyway. I think this one is a Shiva. A Rundaladini Roadworks Shiva, which is a crotch rocket. I'll rip that out of the book and show you. Cool. I guess... Oh, you know what? This is definitely a Brick's bike. Right? Because everyone else has like Harleys and he's like a crotch rocket.
He can't quite handle the real thing.
Yeah.
I have a rules question real quick. So I have 2 marks for joyful and I just did sad, which is opposite. Do I take a mark off of joyful
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Let me upload this picture real quick. And then the rest will be Thunder Gods, I think. Nothing else makes sense unless I want to give you guys tanks and shit, which apparently this book has. Or The Punk Knot. Unknown price, every riot cop's nightmare. Cool. Yeah, everything else is kind of not really making sense, so that's good. We'll just call the rest.
I'm just so glad that Harley Davidson still exists in the future.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, hey? So,
I'm also
So-
going to call Bina.
you're going to call Bina?
Oh, yeah, say, we can't, like, transport all these bikes to you guys, so maybe meet here. And also, there's, I gotta, like, talk to you guys about a thing. I got
what's
news.
Okay. Just ping me the coordinates and I'll see you there. Omen's looking
It's
great,
just-
by the way.
It's just by the bikes. You
Okay.
already pinged us there.
No problem. I'll see you soon. See you ASAP.
Well, I think Dover and Tex are there and stuff too, right?
Should we help steal bikes?
Well, I don't know who those people are, so
Yeah.
Well,
that's true.
I think
Help
we
me
could.
steal a
I
bike.
think we could assume that they're all in the crew. Yeah,
We're all hackers.
yeah.
As a rigger, I should probably be able to hotwire a bike, right?
Yeah, sure. Sounds plausible until you roll a failure.
Yeah. Let's steal a bike. What could
Yeah.
go wrong?
Everybody needs a Harley. A 5040 EP Harley, apparently.
Yeah.
I like how I'm pretty sure I took the motorcycle price too from the core Cyberpunk book too. So I like how a regular motorcycle 1500. You want a Thunder God, $5,000.
It's about the brand.
Yeah.
So
Otherwise, it's just
how do I
mass-produced.
steal a bike?
Yeah, how do you steal a bike?
I mean, I haven't played this game before.
Oh, okay.
So how mechanically do I steal a bike?
Mechanically, we just have one die roll where we set stakes for each one, and then you roll with your feelings each time to color the scene and give it context. So just like with PBTA, you tell me how you are doing the thing. I set the stakes for your roll, and you decide if you continue or not. And then we see if it's a mixed result, a full success, or 12 plus, which is bonus success on top of it, or a miss.
Okay, so I think I pull out some of the tools that I use to work on Rodeo, and just go about bypassing the security on the bike and then hotwire it. Trying to decide if this is a peaceful action for me. Probably. You know what? I'm probably feeling powerful. We just cowed those guys, and I'm gonna steal their bike. Teach them a lesson. Nobody talks shit to Tex. So yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty powerful. I'm just gonna pull out the tools, spin them around, and like go at it like I'm practiced.
Cool.
So I just roll powerful.
Yep. So you roll powerful, and whatever modifier that is, it should include it for you. Jesus. Okay.
Hey, we're all good at this.
Yeah, you guys, I guess, were born to steal $5,000 bikes.
So do I click the little one now to move the marker underneath?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when you roll something opposite, you can move it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that goes swimmingly. Cool. So maybe it takes you a little bit longer than the person who has an interchangeable set of hand tools, apparently. But apparently you're old-handed this. So is this something that you used to do a lot in your youth back in Texas or whatever? Do we get like a flashback of young Tex? Like,
I think we get a flashback of young Tex working on bikes.
Oh.
Like repairing bikes. And then like having to, someone didn't have their key, or like or maybe like we cut back to him being a kid and stealing like his dad's bike all the time from the shop.
Yeah, we get the shot of Kirk stealing the bike at the beginning of Star Trek from the dad. Pull over. Cool. Dover, are you stealing a bike?
It seems like the cool thing to do.
Apparently. It is definitely a trend now.
All the cool kids are doing it.
Or maybe I should just assume everyone will get a 10.
I don't know what happens if we don't. I'll have to ride on someone else's bike, I guess.
I mean, what could go wrong? We're all super good at this.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
it sets off the alarm, and ostensibly those guys will come out of the turn and try to rough you up or whatever.
all right, that's the stakes.
Yeah, this... Oh, 4. Ooh, that's not good. Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize it would roll so fast, but yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So you got a 4. Did you roll with an emotion? It looks like a +0 emotion, though.
Peaceful, yeah, because I
Peaceful.
figured it was kind of old hat by now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think what happens is you're doing it the same way that the other people might be, right? Like clearly how they have bypassed should work on this one, but I think it's the unnamed PC that was telling Wheeler to like come back, the sort of prudent person, right? Who has like an ulterior one. There's like a secondary switch beneath the first one or something like that. And it's like, I don't know, something analog and stupid, like a personal passcode that's like 4 digits or something, right? So you get as far as that, and then yeah, I think it starts instead of the normal car alarm though, instead it starts blaring like some weird song like like Creedence Clearwater Revival, like Born on the Bayou or something, right? It just starts playing on it very loudly, and it whooping sounds like louder and quieter. And I think when that happens, this is the last bike I think that they had, and the doors like whip open, and you see that guy. I think we'll say his name is Isaac. He's like clean cut, like shaved, buzz cut, like really brilliant blue eyes, and he's in his leathers and stuff like that. And he's like, I know that song anywhere. He's like, I can't believe we didn't stomp you fools before. And then we go on break. We'll come back at 15. Does that sound good? Cool. It's weird that Hangouts isn't shifting to people when they're talking. I don't know what's up with that. Usually it just does it normally.
Yeah, I have Darren's beautiful face as well.
Hmm?
I have Darren's beautiful face as well.
Yeah? Like it just stays there?
Yeah.
Same here.
Was it working when I was clicking on other people? Like how about now? Like,
No,
can
I
you
think
see
that's
Joshua?
just for you.
Oh.
People have to
Yeah.
click individually.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been clicking on people as they speak because mine's stuck too.
Yeah, same.
Oh, no way.
Wow. Sweet. Well, this will be an interesting recording for people. They're like, why is Fraser always the one talking? Because for me, it's just stuck on me unless I click on other people. So that's annoying. If you have time, you should look through the Chromebooks because a lot of the stuff is really funny. That's where I got the Thunder God and Shiva from.
So, Fraser,
Mhm.
since I'm new to this game, is the like emotion wheel, is that an addition that you added, or?
Yeah, that's an addition that I added to the game. Yeah, it's in the initial Veil game. I came across it when I was just doing some random research, and then I decided to integrate it so that it'd be a little bit more easier for people to figure out what emotion they were rolling with, and then made the core emotions those things just to help people out. It's only really great, I think, if you're neurotypical. A lot of people's feedback is like, I don't associate this feeling with that at all. So in the tech side, like, that this is just a helpful tool. You can tell me how you choose to roll. Event like, otherwise it's just a guideline basically that hopefully people find helpful.
It's cool. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, there's more hardcore ones than that, but I was like, I'm just gonna stick to this one. There's later ones where there's something like 8 or 9 core emotions, and that wheel is just intense. So yeah, but it's initially used for emotional therapy from this doctor in the 90s. So yeah, Asher, are you back?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, so yeah, the guy kicks open the doors, right? And says, I, should have pounded you guys down when I had the chance. I knew you were trouble, that kind of stuff. And then we cut over to the people in Omen hooking up his arm, feeling good. And right after the text where it says, I'm feeling much better now, there's like another line and it says, it's hard to, because this isn't a connection to Bina's deck, right? Bina?
Right. Sorry, what?
Like this is it connecting to you in the deck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you see is like another line of text after the I'm feeling much better now, and it says, signal interference makes it hard for me to express myself.
Aw. How are you feeling, Owen? Are you affected by the arms emotions?
Oh, let's see. Probably not so much. Like it probably is just like a thought in the back of my head because we said that like the firewall thingy whenever it was taken down, but it's like mystically maintained as long as like I'm around Bina, you right? So I think it's more. I think Omen probably just feels like an irritating thought in the back of his head if the AI is irritated. But if it's feeling like calm or whatever, then there's something like, yeah, something like that little calming idea in the back of his head now.
Oh, you're never alone.
Yeah.
A little disoriented right now, but I'm sure Omen will learn to love it.
Yeah.
I predict you guys will be the best of friends. Just give it time.
We gotta find a name, Bina.
Oh.
Wait, can you ask it what its name is?
Yes.
It has a name, Interface 0.
Interface 0.
Or IO.
Isn't that a moon?
If you want a longer name, it's IOU.
Io is cute. I like Io.
I like IO.
And another line of text happens, and it's like, I think it says Arasaka is blowing in the wind tonight.
Ooh, your arm is very poetic.
Apparently. Hey, I think Owen like looks at his arm. He's like, "Hey, could you speak clearer? I'm not that smart."
I think it's like sends like a couple question marks, and it says like, sniff the signals.
Okay.
Must be talking to you, Vina.
I don't sniff anything.
Yeah, it's calling you a glue sniffer. That's what's up.
Owen's too dumb to even get it.
Yeah. The
We're the two dumbest characters.
but because it says like not safe, not secure, and it says that like a couple times, and then it says like Arasaka in the wind again, and it's like underlined. Right.
Well, I don't know what it's going to tell us, but sounds like we should get most motorbikes to get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, at a player level, you guys know what it's trying to say, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just like,
We're just having fun being idiots.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
I regret everything. So yeah, let's you know what, March pinged us, let's go head back that way. Jump on some bags.
So is March, are you left though, right, with the bike?
No, because I mean, I was looking up on WikiHow how to ride bikes, but it's like, no, I'm not comfortable with this.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think he was just sort of backing away slowly from the bikes when the guys came out.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So there's the 4 guys. There's Brick, Wheeler, Isaac, and No Name. So how do people want to deal with this problem? Are you guys just gonna run, or like with the bikes that you have, or trounce them, or what?
Sounds good to me.
I think for reference, I think Adriana would be with Bina and Omen, and not with the people stealing the bikes. Yeah. Cool.
I can drive if March can't.
Yeah, I mean, so these guys have not seen me before, I believe, because I wasn't.
Yeah, you had just rounded the corner, so they hadn't made you.
So I'm just kind of like distancing myself, and then I'd like to sort of do a ping to see what, if anything, on them I can hack.
Ooh, cool. I like that. Sounds good. I don't think you need to roll for that. Okay. I think you do this ping. Is it just look like echolocation, or what are you imagining?
Yeah. I think in the Veil, it just looks like a little, let's say, bright green pulse coming out from his head at eye level and lighting up when it encounters something hackable.
Cool. Okay. So I think Wheeler and Isaac both have cyber eyes. The other guy has like a cyber arm, and No Name has a cyber leg. Actually, I think just a foot. Cyber foot. So they're all cyberized in some way. But 2 of them are their eyes.
Okay.
That's that good stuff.
I would like to just sort of I don't want, so I'm trying to think how to put this like sort of in the realm of misdirection, and not like illusion or something, though I guess there's some intersection there. I kind of just want to make it look like hack some cyber eyes and make things look like they are in a slightly different place than they actually are.
Sure.
Just sort of mess up their whole sense of depth and location. That's the idea.
Sure. Okay. Interesting. Stakes. I think maybe those 2 guys might be ex-military, so they might have some sweet ice on them. So you might catch some feedback. So I'll put 1d4 on the table.
And I think March is a little bit scared in this instance, so...
And he didn't need to be. Cool. So it works perfectly. So what does it look like? What do we see on camera?
I think it cuts, like it zooms in on the cyber eyes, and then it sort of, and their faces, and it sort of cuts to a first person view, and things are fuzzy, and like Dover is sort of like in one place and then sort of flickers and is in a different place, and it is just very disorienting. And then we cut back and we see them like,
Cool. I like that. What else is people up to? Is this the pretense that you need to run? To burn
I think
rubber?
I'm on the bike that he was on, or they were on before.
So you're just ready to peel out, essentially?
Yeah.
So you went and took the other running bike?
Dover's on March's bike, right?
Yeah, since March couldn't drive, I figured I'd take the wheel.
This is mine now. Cool.
so, am I in the sidecar or like in back, like holding on? Is the question.
Are you gonna climb on his bike, or do you need some other way to get out of there? Because I mean, Rodeo's still there. If you want to ride Rodeo back.
Oh yeah, the ungainly robot.
Yeah, it sort of lopes. You just gotta hold on real tight.
Would you like a horse? Spider robot.
Sorry.
No, he's asking you, I think.
Oh yeah, I just really like the idea of March kind of sitting in a sidecar, like knees up. So
Sure.
I would like to go with that.
I think I look back at the guys and I'm like, oh no, fellas, that just started doing that. These ain't even your bikes. Your bikes is down there, and then I just take off.
Awesome. Okay, so is everyone in on this master plan? Does everyone just peel away?
Yeah, I think we have 3 bikes, and we'll just take all of them, and we'll all be riding 2 per bike eventually.
I'll ping Bina with our new ever-changing location.
Nice. Okay, and the idea is just to like lose them or whatever, right? Just to get out of there. Cool. Okay, so does anyone have an idea of how to, like, I think this place probably has some form of surveillance. Does anyone have a particular idea in the fiction for how they would completely lose these guys? Or is it just like, and we leave for the Corpus Christi like this? See ya.
I mean, I don't see why we can't swing by and pick up our pals and get out of here. I don't think we have any more business
Yeah,
in
so
this town.
it's just go time. Okay, sounds good.
Did anybody get their RINs installed?
You have
No
your-
one got a RIN job.
We can do that whenever we want. We'll just hang on to these.
Yeah, when you get to Texas, it's like, oh, hold on, officer. Let me just get a rid job here. Cool. For now, though, so you guys are just blowing through town then, right?
That's
Like
what
you're-
it sounds like.
You're just stopping at Bina's and Obin's and being like, change of plans.
Time to go.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I actually like that a lot. Cool. Okay, so Bina, Obin, are you guys ready to go?
Suppose so.
Cool. I think we'll just like cut to you guys like
Oh yeah.
burning rubber then, right? And the ominous little whatchamacallit, the terminal stuff that was saying on the deck is still like blinking or whatever, right? It's just you guys are like saddling up and getting on these motorbikes / crotch rocket for one of you, the one that can go 270 kilometers per hour. I like how it's kilometers per hour too. That's the way it should be. Cool. So you burn out of there, headed towards Corpus Christi. So here's a question that texts on your way to Corpus Christi from here. Do you know a person who can do rim jobs or what?
Well, damn, boy, put it all out in front, I guess. Yeah, I think I do. There's probably, it's probably like an old contact because the people I know probably would have been back at the place where we stole the bikes. So maybe it's like a really old ex-girlfriend runs a bar kind of thing.
Cool. What's it called? What's the bar called?
Oh, let's see. It's called I'm trying to think of a play on Roadhouse. I can't think of a good cyberpunk thing that rhymes with road or house. Let's say download house. I like Neon Road. I like that.
Yeah, the one that sounds normal. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's Neon Roadhouse.
Sounds good. Cool. So yeah, I think we get like a cut to y'all blowing through the south, right? Like, I like the escape to be sort of like on these off these like weird sections of the rigs, right? Like you guys are just like burning rubber and like taking some of these weird sections of the rigs as jumps and stuff like that to get out of town ASAP. And then the next cut though, it's all like Fast and Furious, woo, we're going so cool and shit like that. And then the next cut though is like the Texas highway where it's like just like burnt to shit. It's hot as fuck. There's like it's ostensibly like desert around you and stuff, and everybody looks like it's the opposite from like woohoo, yeah, we're going to everyone like, oh fuck. And on the way to Corpus Christi, you hit the Neon Road up, right? Is there like a particular tell to get there? Like is there like a neon cactus where you like take a right or something like that, and then there's like a whatchamacallit, like a hidden road that like is illuminated in the dark or something that takes you there or something?
I think there was probably like a casino with like a bunch of neon signs, but it's like been shut down for years, so it's just all the neon signs just sitting by this like dirt road.
Cool. Okay. And then this is like a well-trafficked path, but not something that would normal people would see just driving through, right? Like the Texas Rangers, for example, etc.
Right. Yeah. It just looks like a little junkyard, but if you go past it, then several, like a mile down that road.
Right. Cool. Interesting. So this place kind of looks like disrepair.
It's probably, yeah. I mean, I definitely think it's like covered in dirt. Like it's not fancy or anything. And it probably still has like it probably had like was at one point done up to look like an old roadhouse, like with the wood deck, but it's that prefab wood stuff, and so it never rotted. It's just there, like perfect, but everything else on the building is all rusted out and crappy.
Nice. An El Taco, perhaps. Nice. I like that. Yes, the golden chat. Cool. So, what is the ex's name? Is it Mustang Sally?
Let's go with Mustang Sally. Let's see, what's a good like cyberpunk name? Sally Cross.
Sally Cross, cool. Sally Cross. There's the Pinterest too, if you want a picture.
Oh yeah.
I have a picture for Sally.
All right, I'll take up a picture for Sally.
Cool.
Yeah, so I kind of warn everybody like when we pull up. So this is an old contact. Why don't y'all go in and get a drink, and I'll see if I can't I'll see if Sally's still around.
Okay. Sweet. So let's paint the scene a little bit then, especially going with the aesthetics that's always been hit on. So what has survived the cyberpunk dystopic apocalypse other than faux wood? And what about this place is seen as like updated? How do we know that this is still a near future / very future bar, depending on what context you take this setting at from when it was extrapolated? A time when cell phones were bricks and nukes were going off everywhere, apparently. Who has an idea? Joshua, do you have something?
Not in particular. I imagine though that there's probably like maybe a little bit of a drive-through type thing here. So there's like, the slanted coming off the building, and there's probably a bunch of old, completely terribly rusted vehicles, and maybe some people like sleep in those because that's like the only place around here to sleep. And they'll go get drunk and then come back out and sleep in the cars and then do it all over again. But yeah, that's
Cool.
about it.
Darren?
I think going along with that, maybe on the back side of the building, there is one wall that's like strangely clean. I think it's been like whitewashed. And there is a projector from which the bar will project football games. I think in particular, like college football games, if higher education still exists in this world. Because it's Texas, and Texans sure do love their football. So maybe like there's basically like a tailgate going on when we get there also in the back. And tonight there's going to be some like big football game being broadcast.
Cool.
For all these hard living people.
Yeah. Asher?
I was thinking this like used to be a drive-through museum. I saw it once. So there's like all this weird art around from when it used to be that.
Cool. Weird art, like biker art stuff.
Like figures and sculptures and things
Like those creepy wax figures.
scattered around.
Yeah.
Well, the wax would have to be inside, but yeah.
yeah, I guess so. It's hot out there.
Yeah, the wax wouldn't survive global warming.
yeah. Unless they made super wax because they really wanted it. Lauren?
So I think I see two posters in my mind. One is for an eating competition. Like, I reckon this place is renowned for, like, I don't know, eating like as many soy like barbecue ribs or whatever in one sitting as possible, like that. Yeah. And I think so I feel like that's kind of like pretty staple for pubs, right? In this kind of like dinery, we've got to get people, we've got to have events and shit this place. So I think that's persisted. And I think the thing, you know, that makes it like a near future thing is there's a second poster up for like an Elvis gig, except like there's a sticker across it that says like cancelled because we killed them all.
Boom. Okay. Sounds good. Alex?
I imagine there being like an old-fashioned jukebox in the bar area. It still basically works. Sounds a little distorted, but people and maybe they like don't actually get to choose which song plays, but they people still have it on sometimes.
Sweet. Nice. Kurt, anything else?
Well, I think you can definitely smell this like soy pork cookout that's happening. Like there's like one of those big ass barbecues outside, but it's sort of floating, right? Like it's got the little repulsor things underneath it, so it's just like this floating barbecue because it's got to be cyberpunk. And there's like a dude standing there with a cyber leg and a cyber arm with a spatula hand, and he's just like flipping stuff.
Cool. I like that. Sweet. And I think out front there's like the remnants of some old pumps and stuff like that, like gasoline pumps. And they're like all fancy looking because they're meant to be pumping out. Oh crap, I can't remember what it's called in this setting. It's like HOOH2 or whatever the fuck. Fancy fuel stuff, right? It's like blue instead of the red nozzles and stuff like that. When you get close, you guys go in and stuff like that. People are milling around. And so they're about to show some old shows, it sounds like, right, Darren? Maybe they have like a what once was like a really nice screen outside where they would show movies and stuff like that. They still have that screen, but it's like all kind of like beat up around the edges and stuff like that, but they don't give a shit. They still spray the movie onto it anyway. And as you guys walk in, like they're still setting up the movie and stuff, someone kicks the jukebox in order to change the song, right? Because it was stuck on like a Johnny Cash song where it was like looping over and over and over, and someone kicks it and now it's like Elvis or something. I think as you get close, there's that picture of Sally happening here. So she's got kind of like the buzz cut, or like, yeah, I guess it's hard to say, but she's got like half of her side buzz cut, and she's still using the old trodes instead of the new veil stuff, right? She doesn't have that kind of augmentation. She's old school that way. She's got like an actual deck and plugs into the net and stuff like that. So you see her eyes like darting around as if she was like wildly looking at different places and stuff like that, but it's her inside the net looking. And she sort of like looks up from a booth that's like red and tattered and all fucked up and stuff like that in this place as people are milling around and getting the booze and stuff like that. It's very much like I think it feels like you walked into like a family establishment, right, where people are. It seems like everyone's preparing for this party, this cookout stuff, right? And Sally's eyes stop wobbling and moving around all over in the sockets and stuff like that. She takes out the trodes and she looks up at you, and she kind of sighs. And it's not a good sigh. And she looks over at Adriana, who looks like half punkified, right? Like a kind of like a poser, basically, because the first time that people applied the punk makeout and aesthetic and stuff like that on her, it looked really good. But now, since she's been trying to take over for herself, it's like not the best, we'll say. Yeah, and she looks at Tex and she's like, "What the fuck did you bring into my house?" And that's where we cut. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sweet. Okay, so let's see, XP. So make sure everybody mark who bet to get their stuff, the 3-to-1 odds back. Whoever had spent stuff. Next session we'll do the rin jobs.
3-to-1 means you get 3 times what you bet.
I thought so.
Or it means
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I bet 500, I'm at 2K now.
Yes. I have 3 swords. Yeah.
Hell, I don't gamble.
I guess it would be the value of the sword. Right? I'm not sure how much a sword is, but I would go by money, not everyone like, I guess we got to give up our swords, boys.
I was gonna like forcefully indoctrinate everyone into sword club, but I will. I also have to buy them swords with my sword money.
Sure, if you want, yeah, I guess it's the same thing, right? You have the money to buy the swords regardless. So if you want to spend it on swords, or if you want to say that you got swords there, I am completely fine with either. Yeah, and 1,200 for the rin, yeah. So somebody's making money. Pays to gamble. As long as Obed rolls with advantage.
Pays to gamble on me.
Yeah. Well, you're a cheater anyway.
Excuse me.
Yeah. All right. Let me just pull up experience here. Yeah, people can take 1,200 experience. So the people that just joined would be at level 3 exactly, I think, putting it at 5K, and then everybody else has got wildly different XPs, I think. So, yeah.
What's the level 4 XP?
Let me pull it up again.
Is there a place to track XP on this Roll20 sheet?
Is there? Maybe just in gear.
I just put it next to my class. So I put booster and then 5,000 XP now.
Yeah. Veil 2020. I cannot find it. Oh. So you said level 4?
Yes.
It is 10,000.
What?
10,000?
15,000.
Okay, then you're level 4 already. Level 5 is 16, so you're 1,000 away from level 6 or level 5. I mean, yeah.
What's the level up for level 4?
The what?
I don't have the PDF. What's the level up for level 4?
Another class slot from any class, so you can multi-class if you want.
Oh, okay. I was level 4 then. I just didn't. I wrote the wrong number.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
Yeah, the next one is another class slot or +1 to your modifier for one of your emotions.
Right. I took the ace class slot synced up with my fists.
You would. Okay. Cool. All right, so I think that's it for housekeeping. So I'll stop the broadcast.